Gentlemen, let me start with a hard truth most doctors will never tell you. Every single night, millions of men over 60 are waking up again and again, rushing to the bathroom, feeling exhausted, embarrassed, and defeated. But what if I told you that the key to shrinking your swollen prostate and finally sleeping through the night could come not from another pill, but from something as simple as a piece of fruit? And not just in weeks or months, some men notice relief in less than 18 hours. My name is Dr. Mohit Kara. I am a professor of urology and men's health, and for more than 30 years I have dedicated my life to helping men regain their strength, their confidence, and their dignity. I have sat across from thousands of men who felt hopeless, who believed that endless medications were their only option, and I have watched their lives transform when they discovered the natural solutions that modern science often ignores. Here is the paradox that no one talks about. While the pharmaceutical industry spends billions pushing drugs with frustrating side effects, nature has quietly provided us with fruits that target the root causes of prostate enlargement, reducing inflammation, balancing hormones, and restoring healthy flow. Today, I am going to reveal 5 powerful fruits that science shows can shrink your prostate, ease your bathroom struggles, and even improve your intimate life. And stay with me until the end, because one of these fruits works so quickly that some men notice a difference within just 18 hours. Before we get started, make sure you hit the subscribe button and turn on the notification bell, so you never miss another doctor-backed health tip designed for men over 60. And if this message speaks to you, type 1 in the comments to let me know you're with me. If it doesn't, type 0 so I know how to serve you better. Now that you understand the truth about natural solutions, let's begin with the very first fruit, a powerful protector that has been treasured for centuries. Its ruby red seeds hold compounds proven to calm inflammation, slow prostate growth, and even support stronger vitality. I'm talking about pomegranate. 1. Pomegranate, the prostate protector. When I think of pomegranate, I don't just see a fruit. I see a symbol of vitality that has been treasured for thousands of years. In ancient cultures, men believed this crimson fruit held the secret to strength and longevity. And as a doctor who has spent over 3 decades studying men's health, I can tell you they weren't far from the truth. Inside every seed of the pomegranate lies a powerful arsenal of antioxidants. These compounds fight off the silent fire of inflammation that causes your prostate to swell, pressing on your bladder and robbing you of sleep. I remember one patient of mine, a gentleman in his early 70s, who came to me completely exhausted. He told me he hadn't slept a full night in years because of constant trips to the bathroom. He felt drained, irritable, and embarrassed in front of his wife. We adjusted his diet, and one of the first changes I recommended was adding fresh pomegranate juice to his mornings. Within weeks, he noticed his nights were quieter. He wasn't waking up every hour. His energy returned, and for the first time in years, he smiled and said, "Doctor, I feel like myself again." That's the power of this fruit. Beyond just helping the prostate, pomegranate improves circulation throughout the body. Better blood flow means not only relief for your bladder, but also renewed vitality in your intimate life. Many men don't realize that the same circulation that helps you empty your bladder more easily is also the very circulation that supports stronger erections. One simple glass of pomegranate juice each morning can serve 2 purposes: shrinking your prostate and strengthening your manhood. The science backs this up. Clinical studies have shown that pomegranate can slow the growth of prostate cells, lower PSA levels, and protect against further enlargement. Think of it as a natural shield, guarding one of the most important glands in your body. And unlike medications that often come with side effects like dizziness, headaches, or even sexual dysfunction, pomegranate works in harmony with your body. It is also remarkably easy to add into your daily routine. You can drink the juice, eat the seeds, or even sprinkle them on a salad. The taste is vibrant, refreshing, and a reminder that taking care of your health doesn't have to be a punishment. It can actually be enjoyable. I always encourage men to view this not as a chore, but as an investment in their freedom. Imagine being able to sit through a long dinner with your family without having to excuse yourself. Imagine falling asleep and waking up with the sunrise instead of the urge to run to the bathroom. That is what this fruit offers you. And yet, As powerful as pomegranate is, it is only the beginning. Because there is another fruit. One most men think of as nothing more than a sweet summer snack that holds the ability to bring noticeable relief in as little as 18 hours. In fact, it works so quickly that many of my patients are stunned by the difference they feel overnight. Let me show you what makes this fruit so unique. 2. Watermelon, nature's nitric oxide booster. When I think about the fruit that often surprises men the most, it has to be watermelon. For many of you, watermelon brings back memories of summer picnics, family barbecues, and long afternoons in the backyard. You probably never thought of it as medicine, but I've seen firsthand how this fruit can change a man's life. I remember one patient, a retired truck driver in his late 60s, who told me he felt chained to his bathroom. He was worn out, frustrated, and even embarrassed around his wife because he couldn't sleep through the night. When I suggested adding watermelon to his diet, he laughed at first. "Doc, how's a piece of fruit going to fix what pills couldn't?" But within days, just days, he came back with tears in his eyes. For the first time in years, he'd slept almost through the night. The reason is nitric oxide. Watermelon is packed with an amino acid called citrulline, which your body converts into arginine and then into nitric oxide. This natural compound relaxes blood vessels, improving circulation to your prostate and easing the pressure that makes urination such a daily battle. Stronger circulation doesn't just help your bladder empty more completely, it restores energy and strengthens intimacy as well. That's why some men tell me that watermelon feels like overnight relief. It hydrates, flushes out toxins, and opens the pathways your body has been begging for. The beauty of watermelon is its simplicity. You don't need complicated recipes or supplements, just a few slices on a hot afternoon or blended into a refreshing juice. I often tell my patients that taking care of their prostate doesn't always require hardship. Sometimes it's as simple as rediscovering the fruits they once enjoyed in their youth. And there is something empowering about knowing that a sweet, familiar fruit is doing powerful work inside your body, quietly undoing years of strain and helping you reclaim your nights. But while watermelon brings quick relief, it is not the only fruit with this kind of hidden strength. There is another fruit, one you probably have sitting in your kitchen right now, that acts like a shield for your prostate, lowering harmful hormones and slowing down the growth of tissue itself. It's so common, most men overlook it, but it may be the single most protective fruit you can eat. Let me show you why tomatoes deserve a place in every man's diet. 3. Tomatoes, the Lycopene shield. Tomatoes are a fruit we often take for granted. They sit quietly on the counter, appear in countless meals, and yet hold one of the most powerful secrets for a man's prostate. I've spent years reading the research, but I've also spent years listening to my patients, and one story stands out. A man in his mid-60s came to see me, worried because his PSA levels had been slowly climbing. He was nervous, his wife was frightened, and he was tired of feeling like his health was out of his control. I asked him a simple question. "How often do you eat tomatoes?" He looked at me, puzzled, and said, "Doctor, I've never thought of them as anything more than a side on my burger." That's when I told him about lycopene, the powerful nutrient hidden inside every ripe tomato. Lycopene acts like a shield around your prostate. It reduces oxidative stress, lowers harmful DHT levels, and slows the very growth of prostate tissue. Think of it as reinforcing the walls of your house before the storm hits. What amazed this patient, and what still amazes me every time, is how something so common and inexpensive can deliver such profound protection. Within months of adding tomato-based meals to his diet, pasta sauce, tomato soup, even roasted tomatoes, his numbers began to stabilize, and more importantly, he felt reassured. He told me, "Doctor, I feel like I finally have some control back." That sense of empowerment is priceless. Here's what makes tomatoes unique. When they are cooked, the lycopene becomes even more bioavailable. That means your body can absorb and use it more effectively. So a warm bowl of spaghetti with rich tomato sauce or a hearty chili is not just comfort food, it is medicine for your prostate. The more consistently men include tomatoes in their diet, the greater the long-term protection. And it's not just about the numbers on a lab test. It's about the peace of mind that comes from knowing you're building a shield around your health every single day. I often tell men, Your diet is one of the most powerful prescriptions I can ever give you. Unlike pills that can bring side effects, tomatoes bring comfort, taste, and lasting protection without fear. And for many men, the simple act of choosing a meal rich in tomatoes feels like taking back power from a system that too often leaves them feeling helpless. But as strong as tomatoes are, they don't work alone. There is another fruit, smaller and tart in flavor, that has been quietly helping men restore control over their bladders and their confidence. It protects the urinary tract like a guardian, fighting off the very irritation that keeps you running to the bathroom. And once you understand how it works, you'll realize why I recommend it to nearly every man over 60. Let's talk about cranberries. 4. Cranberries, the urinary tract guardian. Cranberries may seem like nothing more than a holiday side dish or a tart juice you sip occasionally, but to me, they represent one of the most overlooked allies in men's health. I remember a gentleman in his late 60s who came to me completely frustrated. He wasn't just dealing with a swollen prostate, he also suffered from repeated urinary tract irritation. Every time he felt that burning urgency, he told me he felt older than his years, weaker than he wanted to admit, and less capable of enjoying his life. He avoided long car trips, worried about social gatherings, and even confessed that he sometimes felt ashamed around his grandchildren when he had to excuse himself constantly. When I suggested cranberries, he looked surprised. "Doctor," he said, "isn't that something women drink for bladder problems?" I smiled and told him that yes, women often use cranberries for that purpose, but men should too. Here's why. Cranberries contain compounds that prevent bacteria from sticking to the lining of the urinary tract. That simple action means fewer infections, less inflammation, and less irritation. And when your urinary tract is calmer, your prostate is calmer too. Many men who add cranberries to their daily routine notice they can urinate with more ease, with less burning, and with a stronger flow. This is not just theory. I've watched it happen in real life. That same gentleman returned months later, walking taller, smiling wider. He said, "Doctor, I feel like I have control back. I can sit through dinner without running off. I can drive to see my daughter without worrying." That is the kind of transformation cranberries can bring. What I love about this fruit is how simple it is to use. A glass of pure cranberry juice, a handful of dried cranberries, or even a cranberry supplement can make a world of difference. And beyond the urinary tract, cranberries are packed with antioxidants that protect your prostate cells from oxidative damage, slowing down the very processes that fuel enlargement. Think of cranberries as a quiet guardian, standing watch over both your bladder and your prostate, making sure irritation doesn't steal your peace of mind. Adding cranberries into your life isn't about chasing perfection. It's about creating small, consistent habits that give you back the freedom you deserve. Freedom to laugh with your family without interruption. Freedom to sleep more peacefully at night. Freedom to feel like yourself again. For many men, this one small addition feels like a lifeline. But as important as cranberries are, they aren't the end of the story, because there is one more fruit I want to share with you, one that men often think of as nothing more than a trendy topping for toast. Yet hidden inside it are natural compounds that balance the very hormones driving your prostate to grow larger with each passing year. If you've ever wondered how to stop the problem at its source, you won't want to miss what avocado can do. 5. Avocado, the hormone balancer. When I bring up avocado in conversations with my patients, I often see a puzzled look. Some men think of it as a new fad, something their kids or grandkids put on toast, not something meant for them. But let me tell you, this fruit is far more than a modern trend. Avocado is a quiet powerhouse when it comes to balancing the hormones that fuel prostate enlargement. I recall one gentleman in his 70s, a retired engineer, who came to me with a sense of defeat. He had tried medication after medication, only to be left with side effects that left him more discouraged than before. He told me, "Doctor, I just want to feel like I'm in control again." That's when I suggested something simple. Add half an avocado to his daily diet. Avocado is rich in plant sterols, compounds that naturally block the conversion of testosterone into dihydrotestosterone, or DHT. Why is that important? Because DHT is like gasoline on the fire of prostate growth. Too much of it, and the gland swells, pressing on your bladder, interrupting your nights, and draining your confidence. By lowering DHT, avocado helps calm the fire at its very source. At the same time, it supports healthy testosterone balance, which means you don't just protect your prostate, you preserve your energy, your muscle strength, and your vitality. That patient came back to me months later with a spark in his eyes. He said, "I feel steady again, stronger, even my wife has noticed the difference." And the best part, there were no side effects, just a simple, nourishing food doing the work quietly and powerfully. What makes avocado so remarkable is that it works on multiple fronts. Its healthy fats soothe inflammation, its vitamins protect your cells, and its minerals relax your bladder muscles. The result is fewer interruptions at night, smoother flow during the day, and a sense of freedom you may not have felt in years. And unlike a pill that leaves you worrying about what it might do to your body, avocado leaves you with nothing but nourishment. I often tell men that every time they add avocado to a salad, spread it on a sandwich, or eat it with eggs, they are making a choice for balance, for stability, and for control over their health. It's a small act with a big return, and as I've seen in countless patients, it restores more than prostate health. It restores hope. For men who have spent years feeling trapped by their bodies, avocado is a reminder that nature still holds answers. Modern medicine sometimes overlooks. It is not about taking away joy, but about bringing it back. Now that you've seen the 5 powerful fruits, pomegranate, watermelon, tomatoes, guayas, cranberries, and avocado, you may be wondering how to bring them together, how to turn these insights into lasting habits, and how to finally take back your nights, your confidence, and your manhood. Let me guide you into the conclusion where we put everything into perspective and chart the path forward. Conclusion: taking back your prostate health. Gentlemen, we have walked through 5 simple yet powerful fruits that can make an extraordinary difference in your life. Pomegranate, with its ruby red seeds, acts like a protector, calming the silent fire of inflammation. Watermelon, sweet and refreshing, delivers nitric oxide to open your blood vessels and bring relief sometimes in less than a day. Tomatoes, humble and familiar, provide lycopene, a shield that slows down the very process of prostate growth. Cranberries stand guard over your urinary tract, preventing irritation and restoring confidence. And avocado, creamy and nourishing, balances the hormones that quietly push your prostate to enlarge with each passing year. I've shared these with you not as theory, but as lessons learned over 3 decades of caring for men just like you. Men who want their strength back, men who want to laugh at dinner without interruptions, men who simply want to rest peacefully through the night. I think of the faces of my patients, the relief in their voices when they tell me they finally slept, or when they admit they feel younger, more capable, more alive. That is why I speak with conviction today. Your prostate does not have to control your story. You have options beyond pills and frustration. With each piece of fruit you add to your plate, you are choosing vitality, freedom, and dignity. So I encourage you, start today. Take that step for yourself and discover how powerful nature can be when you give it a chance.